Oh my god, please do not get close enough. It's not even that we can't even push right now. 13% brakes left? That is absolutely ridiculous. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Spotdeals here, your favorite motorsport manager doing the F1 mod challenge. Currently racing for Racing Engineering. And now we're up to the third round. We've successfully got 10th in the last two races for our Formula 1 Championship. We've punched above our weight. We had the 9th best car on the grid with the 9th best drivers. Maybe we've had the first best motorsport manager on there. I don't know. Maybe. One thing I want to point out more than anything is the massive support Charles Leclerc has for me to pick him up. Now, I can't pick him up right now because we're currently in deficit. And this season is all about getting the team across the line as much as we possibly can. And we can only do that with one car. And that was going to be with Mick Schumacher's car. If we do it with both cars and split the pieces, he's not really going to be scoring in that 10th position consistently. In fact, we're lucky to still get 10th. We've only been able to get there because of mechanical issues with other cars, which is quickly going to evaporate given the fact that they've probably upgraded their factories. The reliability of all the components is going to go up. So we've had a lot of luck go our way, and I wouldn't be surprised if we muscle like a 12th or a 13th position. Our happiness with the chairman, again, is about, I can't remember, it was about 24% or something like that. It's about 25, 24%. Just got to try to monitor that as much as we possibly can and hang in there, because our car is definitely improving. We've put a new gearbox in that was just prepared, and fortunately enough, I've been able to look after it to a point that it's reliable enough for the next race, and that's bumped us up to 8th best car on the grid, so above RGP, and now we're above Renault. So that's something to look forward to, but we're only probably just above Renault. Remember, because of our improvability trait being maxed out, or almost maxed out, it's allowed us, look at that, it's 4 and a bit more stars, because it's like basically there, it's been able to improve us much faster. But we are building components each and every day it's available, so we're designing a new front wing as we speak. We're about to line into the Shanghai GP, but yeah, Charles Leclerc has had amazing support. Scouting, I've actually put him as my favorite, and this is my promise to you guys. If he does not get signed up before the end of this season, at the end of this season, I will sign him up for next season. Look at him, he's about 4 stars. He's actually the same as Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher has probably a little bit more potential, but Charles Leclerc has a lot going for him. Easy on fuel, which means he burns less fuel than usual. He's a racer, which gives him +2 in every trait. That's a permanent trait. He's an endurance champion. And he's found religion, which is only going to be around for 9 more weeks. But his marketability is 59%, which is a huge upgrade for Rossi. So the thing here is, because Mick Schumacher is just scoring those 10 points, getting 10th and scoring 1 point, there's no way Charles Leclerc would also be up there at the same point with a second-tier car. So I'm going to hold off from buying him. For buying him now, it's going to be a waste of money. So I'm going to keep Alexander Rossi on, put him as a third-tier driver, as a paid driver, use him in practice, get the money from that, and then run Charles Leclerc in the races, and that's going to work out well, because Charles Leclerc's feedback's only 11, whereas I believe Rossi, from memory, is 14. So that's going to work out pretty well for us. I'm also designing a new wind tunnel, which is going to assist with the front wing, and also it also assists in something else, doesn't it? The driver feedback improvement rate also goes up at a much faster rate. So everything seems to be coming together. We just need to fight as best as we possibly can to score some points, or score at least 1 point. We've been able to hit our target of 10th or above each race, and that's given us a bit more cash each time. But we're going to roll into Shanghai. Can't promise anything at this stage, guys, but we'll see how we go. Alrighty guys, here's our qualifying at Shanghai. It is raining, and some of the guys are going to go out on intermediate tyres. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the perfect opportunity to go out, wait for that track grip to go up, and then try to time it perfectly so I'm able to do a good lap around here on the better conditions, being dry conditions, on the soft compound tyres. That's what we're planning to do. That's our plan. That's how we're going to try and work it. I'm hoping for the best here. We're going to have to fast forward a little bit. What is the optimum time to go out? It looks to be, according to this track grip, will be around the, wow, even that is just coming down a little bit by a little bit. It is probably around the 15-minute mark, because it takes 1.5 minutes to go around, and that would mean we'd be getting there around 13 minutes, which would be absolutely perfect. Perfect tire temp, good brake temp. We weren't even trying to do that yet. We've done it anyway. We're just trying to get the brake temps now set for Rossi when he does his lap. Could he be doing a better job as well? He's done the perfect setup. We need to get 10th or above. 10th or above would be absolutely perfect. Track grip is going up. It's going to be going up during this lap that we're doing. Let's see how much faster or slower they are. They should technically go faster because they are on slicks versus the guys who went out on intermediates when it was raining. We're down by 0.5. That would put us into the top 5 at least, by the way that lap would be going. Can he do a much better job at the second sector? He should be able to go a little bit faster, given the fact that that grip level is going up every time that he's motoring around that track. He's down by 1.2 seconds. So that's going to put us, that's standard for 5th or better. 5th or better at the moment would be absolutely amazing. He's coming around to finish his lap session. Can he go 5th or better? Yes, he can. 4th! There we go, baby. That's good. That's going to solidify us in the top 10. Provided that the track... Yeah, look, it's going to get disastrous out there. It's actually going to start to storm. Where does Rossi go? Rossi goes 10th. So, Rossi sits in 10th. Schumacher in 4th. We've timed that pretty much to perfection. Maybe just a little bit longer, and that would have helped us a little bit. But look, the reality is, we were 0.4 seconds slower off getting 3rd, which is Hulkenberg's time. We would not have been able to set a better time anyway, so that's okay. I'm quite happy with that. Hulkenberg is now doing his out lap. Let's just hope he gets caught out in the rain. We'll actually monitor him as he does his lap, because he's going to be the first car going around to do his hot lap on the soft compounds. We need it to rain. We need the rain dance to start to happen. Look at it, the track dampness. Here we go, right on cue, just as he starts his lap. Perfect for us to kind of monitor that situation. It's going to keep raining and raining and raining, and that's what we want to see. Let's see if he's going to be up or down at the first split, and that will determine if he's made the right call or not. He's down by 0.5. Now I bet he's going to be down by 2 seconds at the next split because of this weather. Let's have a check, a cheeky little sneaky look. 3.8 seconds, so he's been caught out. Here's the Shanghai GP start of the race. Everyone's already lined up. It looks like it's going to be raining. It's not going to start to rain until about lap 1.5, and if it starts to pour down about then, it's going to take about 2 laps to get damp enough in order for the intermediate tyres to come into effect. Even though the dampness of the track shows that it should be relatively damp after that first lap, that dampness only calculates at the end of that second lap. So the reality is, at the moment, there is no point going out on intermediate tyres. The gap would be about 30 to 40 seconds by the time that we did about 2 to 3 loops. And I reckon we're not going to have to pit till about lap 4. So we're better off going out in the softer compounds, going to in complete attack style, because we can burn those tyres up, because they're only going to be a short stint tyre. And then going on the intermediates after that and kind of building up our strategy. So we're going to be starting our GP race. Trust me, guys. Trust me, you're always better to go out on the right tyres for 3 to 4 laps. If it was just going to be 1 lap and then it started to rain big enough for us to go, oh, we need to pit, it would be then a consideration, but at the moment, this is the best way to do it. And we will see how this race plays out, and I will tell you when we need to pit. So, let's just check if I'm actually making any sense there. Schumacher's going to be starting in 4th position. He's getting an okay start off the line. He might come under threat straight away from Van Dorn, who dives under the middle. So does Bottas. And we've been already pushed back into 6th position. It's not that big of a deal. I actually need to turn it up on my headphones. What is going on? That sounds better. So, Schumacher into 6th position, doing a great job for us. Remember, we are trying to fight for 10th is our target. 10th is our target. 10th is realistic. Everything else just wouldn't work. Like, let's be honest. Everyone else is pushing their engine so far. I don't want to do that. This is a 42-lap race. So, I don't want to be pitting for repairing the engine or repairing the gearbox. Once the race settles out, I might put the engine into high mode, because I would be able to get away with it then, in regards to, you know, not using up as much reliability. You've got to remember, we're in such a poor car compared to the rest of the field that it wouldn't make much of a difference. I'd rather the guys who are fighting with us just go buys, get the gap out, and then we'd start paving down some really critical laps for us. That's a bit of a time waster there for Vettel and Faruq, who were fighting for that position, and now Vettel's actually going to be on the attack. Whereas Alonso, he started back in 18th due to his qualifying session. He's still in 17th position. So I'm surprised not all the AI have wanted to go out on these softer compounds. A lot of them have gone on the hard medium modes as they would usually. But look, it hasn't even started to rain yet. And we're already up to lap 2. That gap would be ridiculous big by now. So we've made the right call. We've stuck with everyone else. It's been the right decision to make, and if we went out on intermediates anyway, those tyres in these conditions would absolutely rip apart. They'd be at 50% by now, given the fact that we're on a dry surface, and it's now lap 3 and it still hasn't gone off. So this little lap odometer is a 10 lap odometer, and it's like 2.5, 5. There you go. There's the rain. We should be able to get away with doing 1 more lap in these conditions, because it's not damp enough for the intermediate tyres to come into effect. Next lap, we'll definitely have to pit, That will mean we'll have to double stack, but so will everyone else. That's a little bit of an advantage for Schumacher because he'll be able to string out in the pit bay first because he's got main priority being the front car there. He's a bit worried about the tyre temps, but that's not going to worry. Everyone else should start to come to pit now. Surely they'll start to come to pit now. No, we're going to do one more lap. Is it safe enough to do another lap? I don't know. Surely there's going to be other cars who are looking to do a pit stop now. No. No. Thanks. Huh. It might be worth not pitting then. It might be worth just doing one more lap. How far are we off the pace? We're 0.8 of a second, but how's the guys around us? So they 0.6, 0.9, 0.3, 0.1, 0.9. Is that really weather related, or is that just the fact that we're going around? Palmer, 0.2, 0.006, Surikan's up. Most of the drivers seem to be off their fastest lap. What I might do is, I might actually pit Schumacher now, and then do a quick lap out on, what's the lap count? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So lap 4, I know, it's a tough call, isn't it? How much more space do we have? We've got a little bit of space before we have to do it. That trail is actually picking up quite well. By the time we come in and out, remember the intermediate tyres are more optimal for when they go in that bigger batch. We're going to risk it for the biscuit. We're going to go to intermediate tyres. We're going to go to fast mode, park condition. Everything is fine. There's nothing to change. We haven't actually dropped in anything there, so that's good. We will do another lap for Rossi, because if he double stacks, he loses out too much. There we go. There was a late minute call for Schumacher to come in. Actually, a lot of cars have come in last minute. That means we're going to have to call in Rossi anyway. He's better off doing a pit stop now so he doesn't get completely screwed over. Everything is maxed. That's really good to see. So he comes in. How fast is the Schumacher stop going to be? I hope it's a good one. He goes straight into his pit bay, hoping that there's not going to be any mistakes. And he goes straight out. He actually tapped the side panel of who's that he's next to. That's Button. So that's a good stop for Schumi. He goes out. Let's go into high mode. Push away a little bit. How is our boy Rossi going? Rossi gets out. Rossi comes out in 11th position. So he's going to be able to hold up that train a little bit. And that's actually really good for us. Let's get him to go into attack mode so we can actually push a bit of a gap. Oh, no, not Schumi. That's, we're doing the wrong car. So let's get him to push, because if he pushes, that's going to hold up the guys behind him, so that's going to assist Schumacher, ensuring he gets 10th or above for this race. So we're playing a bit of a team game. Rossi will definitely not get in the top 10, so his position of this race is just to hold up as many other people as he possibly can, and then, you know, completely lay waste to them as they start to bundle a bit of a safety car seat behind him. But Schumacher doing an amazing job for us thus far. Let's go on to overtake mode. Remember, we have super overtake mode as a specialty for him because he's got the mechanic relationship at 100%. That's the drive knowledge we picked. Just because I knew it was going to rain and we didn't have any knowledge bonuses in intermediate tyres, I thought, why not just get super overtake mode? There you go. There's Vettel. He goes straight by without that much of a hassle. Rossi in 11th position. He's got no one around him, so let's just wind that car back just a little bit. Remember, he's just trying to act as a pace car, literally as a pace car. Fernando Alonso has locked up. That's good news for us because he's in 12th position. He's actually not chasing our boy yet. There we go. We're going to go into attack mode. We want him to fight for that position as much as he possibly can. Go into high mode as well. Hold up that train line. Hold up Alonso. Hold up the field. Do what you can, Rossi. That's my boy. Remember, there is a higher chance of crashing in these conditions as well. Schumacher. Ooh, we're doing the wrong car again. I keep thinking our number one driver's on the left. That's a really bad thing to keep doing. We've got to look after the car a little bit more. We're probably going to have to do 2 more stops, given that these intermediate tyres will last about 14 to 15 laps. And there you go. Rossi is actually defending that position. He's doing a really good job for us. Let's go back into conserve mode for a little bit. Go back into push attack mode. Go into high overtake mode because we don't want to be overtaken on the straight for no apparent reason. There goes Faruku. He goes straight through without much of a problem. So we're now going to go into high mode so we can try to keep up with that train. There is Rossi. He's defending that position really well from Alonso. He's able to hold it. He's holding it. He's holding it. He's holding it. He's going side by side. Can he make a last-minute dive? Yes, he can. He's just holding that position. He's holding him really tight, so it's keeping him at bay as much as he possibly can. He finally gets through. Here comes Magnussen, who seems to be a bother for us every race. He seems to always be in that window where he's annoying us, and not in a so pleasant way. So that's really good for us so far. Let's go back into a neutral mode. Let's just watch that battle. make sure nothing cheeky is going to happen. He doesn't need to keep pushing. Let's go to backup mode with those tyres. He's not going to threaten Alonso at all. As soon as Magnussen gets back up, that's when we're going to actually start to push his car. So all of our focus is on Rossi at the moment. Put him back into high mode, go into push mode. There he goes. He's just going to be sitting Magnussen out and closing the door. And look at that gap between Alonso to Magnussen. It's already 6 seconds. The gap from Schumacher to Alonso is 11 seconds, and it's being diluted. It's actually being diluted quite fast. It's actually really scary because Alonso's not pushing at all. It's just the fact that he's in the McLaren car. He's the best driver on the grid. But that is the technique. They've done an amazing job. The qualifying track position has set us up in a really good spot to be able to do this. Schumacher being able to push away from Rossi at the start of the race allowed for Rossi to not have to double stack in his pit bay and come out ahead of most of his competition. He's saying now it looks like he feels like he's lost some speed. The rear wing seems to have some sort of an issue. We don't have that same problem with Schumi. Let's go into overtake mode for Schumi for a little bit. Hold that gap up. He's now being threatened by who's that? That's Rosberg in the Mercedes car. We don't want him to pass us either. So as soon as he looks like he's going to get in that position, that's going to affect us to a point where we want to start to block as much as we possibly can. And he's doing that right now for us. And he's going to try and set him up on the main straight. That's what the Mercedes does. It's like they have a constant curves in their car and they're able to rattle off a little bit more speed. Go back into conserve mode. Show him the door. And then go into attack mode. Into attack mode now. So he's going to block him as much as he possibly can. What is the gap? Alonso back to Rossi is now 14 seconds. The gap from Schumacher to Alonso is now 6 seconds. So teamwork makes the dream work. And it's just going to keep spitting down at the moment in a really well way. So we're burning up as much fuel as we can for Schumacher's car, because the less fuel he has on board, the faster his car's naturally going to go. Only by a little bit, but every little bit counts for us because we are being chased by a very aggressive Alonso. He's been able to get that gap down to 6 seconds. It's now sitting at about 6 seconds because we are in overtake mode. Are we catching the guys ahead of us? It looks scary. Are we lapping someone? Yeah, we're lapping someone. That's alright. Let's go back into high mode and into neutral mode for those tyres. Rossi still holding back Habsburg. Habsburg not able to make the pass stick. That's because his overtake trait is probably not as high as Rossi's. So he's doing an amazing job so far. Where is Ricciardo? How many times do you think he's going to lap us this race? We're only about 1/3 of the way through. And yeah, he's getting to the point where he's definitely going to lap us once. Twice is a big possibility. But all eyes are on Rossi right now, doing an absolute amazing job. Those tyres are getting shredded and shredded with every second. Look at just how he's blocking. That is an amazing job. There he goes. He's going to go into attack mode. We want to defend that position as much as we possibly can. Go around the outside, stick it to him. Great job. Now his tyres are going to start to burn up any second. That's okay. We expected that. We didn't think he'd last that long, but he's lasted a lot longer than we thought, keeping everyone at bay. Let's just make sure that he keeps going around despite the fact that it's going to eat his tyres away. Remember, he's a non-threat. He's doing the work for us. There is Schumacher and Alonso fighting for position. Alonso's been able to pull up that 6-second gap. If he gets biased, let's just let it happen. What is the gap from Alonso to Habsburg now? 27 seconds. That is absolutely amazing. He's done the job for us yet again. Rossi, the ultimate team player. And can we get these guys behind us to slow down a little bit as well? I think we can. I think it will be worth it. If we pit him now, it's just going to be a bit of a waste. So let's just let him keep going around. We might have to pit for Schumacher this next pit stop. He's actually still ahead of Alonso, which is quite insane. Alonso indicating that he needs to come in the pits. So do we. So let's go into attack mode. Push, 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 push. Everyone's pitting around us as well. What's Alonso's tyres like? They're at 18% because he's had to push behind Rossi that entire time. Schumacher. In he's going to come. Intermediate tyres again. Is he going to have to stick to intermediates? Yes, he is. Pitch strategy. Let's stick to fast. It worked the first time. It's going to work the second time. Fingers crossed. As for Rossi, it is time to pit you, my good friend. Thank you so much for the job that you just did. You did an absolute amazing job. He done the job for us, without a shadow of a doubt. Now let's just fix his car up a little bit, because we don't want him to blow and unfortunately not finish the race and lose a lot of morale. Here is Schumacher in the pits. Get him into backup mode. There's a big debate on Reddit whether that actually makes an effect. Or, oh no, there's a mistake with his tyre change. It's actually going to hinder him 6.7 seconds. That's not good at all. But he still comes out ahead of Alonso. But the gap has been diminished. and it's open. The gap is back to Magnussen is diminished to 2 seconds. The fast pit stop strategy did not work for us. That is a huge, huge shame. I don't know what to say right there. That is really bad for us right now. So literally, Schumacher is now defending for position. It's flickering, it's on and off. It's indicating that our boy is biased. Alonso, our ex-driver, we're now getting lapped. So what we want to do is we actually want to push away from the car that's going to overlap us, because the longer we can prevent that, the better it is for us. Because Verstappen should have to pit. So he's actually slowing down Magnussen. Magnussen has to pit anyway, so that gap hasn't diminished as much as I thought. Let's put Schumi back into normal mode. He's used up as much fuel as we needed him to. How was Rossi going? Rossi's all the way back in 18th. I'm surprised he didn't drop all the way back into last with fixing all those components. I guess a lot of people are actually fixing components as well. I'm hoping that 6-second penalty for that bad time mistake isn't going to screw us. The gap back to Habsburg is now 21 seconds, but it is diminishing quite fast. Look at the way Habsburg is pushing. He's able to push that car because he's got the reliability and he's probably got the driver traits and the car behind him to do it. We're not even halfway yet. Yet we're in 11th position. I feel like 12th position is more likely. I think Habsburg's going to be able to pull that gap down to us. I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to conquer any of these top 10 cars. I'm hoping that something happens. We need some sort of a mechanical issue, a fault, a hindrance, a negligence. Anything that's going to allow us to get that spot back. So now I've got Schumi back into overtake mode. I want him to push as much as he possibly can. This is all balls to the wall. Alonso was definitely going to pass us anyway. That gap is still only 4 seconds as well. But the reality is, it didn't need to go down the way it did, and that was by that tyre stop. We would have still been ahead of him. Alonso would have been pushing his car because he would have needed to have pushed in order to catch us, which means he would have been more open to an issue. Given the fact that this is a 42-lap race, I suspect that we are indeed going to have a lot of mechanical problems. Let's have a look through the order. We don't want mechanical issues, we want mechanical retirements. We need cars to literally break down. Hulkenberg, Vettel, no blinking lights. Van Dorn, no, nothing. Farouk, the button, there we go, button, that's what we need to see. Alonso in front of us. There's Schumacher, what did he do in his last lap time? He did a 135, whereas the car behind us, Habsburg, did a 132, and everyone behind him was doing 133s. So we are much slower. Punching above our weight, coming 11th. Oh my god, it's killing me. Oh. I'm gonna have to get in there with a scraper or something, or get the razor blade and just like pick it out. Oh. Oh my god. Let's get Rossi to start pushing a little bit. And let's give him the team order to allow our teammate through. I know we will always get the blue flag, but it's also just another bonus to have that waved in front of his face. That gap to Habsburg is definitely going to come down. We're not going to be able to do anything about it. That's just the way it's going to roll for us. It's very unfortunate. Our strategy now is about getting to the end with just one more pit stop. If we can do that, that might put a bit of glimmer on the race. So we would need to get to about lap 30 to be safe. I feel like we're going to be able to do that comfortably. This 18th car is Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi is actually catching us, and he's going to unlap himself. He's pushing that car to its nth degree. He's absolutely collapsing that car. Where did Habsburg go? Habsburg is only a little bit behind us as well. He's on 43%. So we need to try to drive these tyres out as much as they possibly can. We know that the end of the race is going to be wet still. How is Alonso traveling? Alonso's now 13 seconds ahead of us. Habsburg is only 4 seconds behind us, or 5 seconds. He's now battling. Okay, Rossi's now battling for that 17th position while getting lapped by Habsburg. Eventful race so far, don't you think, guys? Let me know in the comment section below. Would you have done anything differently? Maybe you would have told me, oh, you needed to put him on a balance stop. Hindsight 2020. You know, not save 2 seconds. It's literally pushed the gap back to 8 seconds. So we would have lost 2 seconds by doing a balance stop. So 6 seconds is how much we realistically lost by doing that. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. We're going to be able to only do one more stop to get to the end. So that's really good for us. Maybe even stay ahead of these other cars. There goes Button. He's pitted. He's had some mechanical issue. We saw that earlier. His pit stop is actually taking a lot longer than I thought. It's actually taking a long time because he's all the way back into 13th now. So that puts Schumacher just back into the points. We're still ahead of Habsburg. Habsburg, I don't know. If Habsburg tries to push that car an extra lap, this could be it. We could possibly get into the top 10 and stay there. There is an issue for Rossi. Let's not pit him just yet. Let's wait to pit Rossi after Schumacher. We don't want him to stay in there while we're fixing all the components. Get him into conserve mode. There is Schumacher. He's at 30% tire tread. Habsburg is at 22. We're going to be able to get to the end on this setup. So let's go into complete attack mode while we come into the pits. Where is Hamilton in relation to us? He should be able to lap us one more time. So we have excess fuel. We'll have one more lap of fuel on board than what we need necessarily. So it's negative 0.84, which will then come to about 0.26 once he passes us. But we need, let's go on the pit stop. We've timed that perfectly. 15 laps on those tires, fast stop strategy. Let's keep it at a fast stop strategy. I'm confident that we're going to be able to walk away from here and do a good job. Let's get him to go into backup mode while he comes in. There he goes. Now we can pit Rossi quite safely. We're going to pit for everything. We're going to get everything fixed. We want him to finish with no dramas. Pit stop, fast tire choice, intermediates, 14 laps for him. Schumacher comes in. It's going to be a very quick stop, hopefully. Oh, for fuck's sake. 6.6 seconds was the penalty. We've dropped back into 11th, and there goes our 10th position. That is a huge blunder. Now, I don't know. I'm really, really annoyed at that. The guy behind us, Perez, is going to have to pit anyway. But losing those 2 times, I'm guessing the next time we stop, we're definitely not going to stop for a fast strategy. We're just going to do a balanced stop. So that's effectively 12 seconds. Alonso's too far ahead that would have mattered. But Habsburg, we might have been able to stay ahead of Habsburg. Now, Habsburg's coming out of the pits in push mode. That surprises me quite significantly. Blue flag for Schumacher, get him to go into backup. Just let the guy go by. Don't muck around. Let him go by. He's actually pitting this lap. That's actually going to hinder us from attacking the next guy. Okay, now go into high mode. Go, 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 go. In the pits for Hamilton. That's bridged the gap to Habsburg by at least 6 seconds. Perez is now behind us, but he's going to have to pit anyway. He's going to have to pit not this lap, but the next lap. I'm surprised he's not pitting now, actually. But we are going to get definitely lapped. I'm just trying to push away from that 4th position car because I don't want to get lapped again. So if we just push enough in order to bridge that gap, park condition, everything is fine to get to the end. Who was that 4th position car? It's Bottas, the new Mercedes driver. Well, still racing in Williams by the looks of things, but that's okay. Habsburg is just ahead of us with only 7 seconds. We need a mechanical issue for one of these other cars. We need a blow-up, a retirement, a fight, anything to happen. There we go. Let him by. That's it. Now go back into medium. Blue flag, go away. Blue flag is going to be really annoying. Habsburg, the gap to Habsburg. Look, he's got a mechanical issue as well. This is good news. He's still driving that car to its limits. He's got the push mode. We want to try to keep that gap to Habsburg. Wow. Button is behind us as well. Button's also had to pit. He's had some mechanical issue again. So the gap to Habsburg is now 12 seconds. We don't want to push that gap out any more than 15 seconds. Because if he pits, which he's going to have to pit anyway, that will mean that we'll be able to get to the end. Now, I'm hoping that Schumacher actually gets lapped, because that will mean... Let's just go back into backup mode. I'm trying to get these cars just to go around us, and then get rid of the blue flag. I'm hoping Hamilton doesn't actually have an issue, because that will mean we won't get lapped. We're going to get lapped anyway by Ricciardo. But Hamilton might have a retirement as well, so that's something to keep a bit of an eye out for. We've got 10 laps in this race to go. Let's go into fast forward mode. Rossi's still in 18th. He's actually in front of Art GP somehow. Robert Kubica has retired. It's not necessarily the car that I wanted to see him retire with. I'd rather see a front runner. That's really a shame for all Polish people alike. And now he's just blocking the race line for us. No, let us go by. Thank God for that. What the hell, dude? Into high mode. We have now excess fuel on board. We're just going to go into push mode. I've got no warning lights except for my brakes. Brakes should be able to get to the end at this rate. Perez is behind us by how much? He's behind us by 24 seconds. A non-threat. The gap to Habsburg is now 20 seconds because of all those cars overtaking us. Now that should that should work its way back in our favor because he's going to have a lot of cars overlapping him now as well. In fact, where is he on the track? He's just there. Having the gap 20 seconds. Remember, pit stops here are about 30 to 35 seconds, the pit lane itself. So if we can just keep up this gap, Alonso's already up into 8th position, so he was going to well work his way past us. So we just want to keep monitoring Schumacher's race and hope for the best here. Hope for something like a retirement. Schumacher, 60% tyre tread left, so he's in a really good zone. He has excess fuel. He's got another car going to lap him behind him, so let's go into overtake mode and push away from him as much as we possibly can. How is Habsburg going? He has to pit. Habsburg has to pit, so he's had some sort of a mechanical dilemma. He's been 2 seconds slower this lap, so that means the gap should diminish. It's 17.3 seconds. So we are technically racing with Habsburg now. We're racing with Habsburg for position. Hopefully there's a stuff up in his pit lane and he actually gets booted backwards. He comes out now. He's going to be just behind us. Well, not just behind us. He's going to be significantly behind us, I should say. We're going to have to monitor our car. Look at it. The brakes are starting to dwindle. Everything else, we haven't been lapped by 6th place Perez yet. Where did he go? Hulkenberg. We've actually put a bit of a gap over Hulkenberg by pushing the way that we just did, so that's worked in our favor. He's doing an amazing job, Schumacher. He's pushing that gap away from Hulkenberg. The longer we can push away from him, the less time we have to stall, the less chance for anyone behind him to pick up, because once we get passed by him, there looks like there's a few cars behind him. I think those cars have just been lapped as well. We don't have the fuel on board to do it. We've been able to keep that gap. Let's look at the times that we've just done. Schumacher did a 134.4, 6th place, did a 132. So he's caught us by 2 seconds that lap. Let's go into backup mode. No. Let's leave it in neutral mode while he pushes away. He's been able to push away from a blue flag. Now he's gotten blue flag. Go into backup mode. Let him through. Don't fight it. We are going to monitor Habsburg. We've got another blue flag. Oh my god, Habsburg, where is he? He's just behind. He still has a mechanical issue. The gap is only 5 seconds. We're racing for position. Is there any more blue flags coming up for this gentleman? Go into neutral mode. Habsburg's going to be able to push. There is Habsburg. So we are now racing with Habsburg for this race, for position. We're going to go into high mode for a little bit longer. We can't really because we don't have the fuel on board. But Habsburg is actually... What is Habsburg doing? Habsburg is now into conserve mode for his engine. So he's got some sort of a fault as well. I'm hoping that he retires. I need him to blow up somewhere along this race. We've got 43% tyre tread left. And he is attacking us aggressively right now. Habsburg, the man on the mission. Remember, we held up Habsburg by Rossi much earlier in the race. And it's come to benefit us at the second half. That was a great job by him. We're now into high mode for these tyres. We need Habsburg to keep pushing. Habsburg is actually into conserve mode, yet he's able to bridge that gap to us quite considerably. We're watching that fuel. How much fuel are we gaining back by going into neutral mode a lap? It looks like it's only going to be about 0.5 a lap. Are we going to get lapped by Ricciardo again? No, we're not going to get lapped by Ricciardo again. That was wishful thinking. That would be absolutely amazing. We've pushed away from Habsburg again. The gap is now just about 2 seconds. It's 1.5 to 2 seconds. Let's monitor this last lap. That would have been a really, really sluggish lap because we were struggling right then in order to do that last lap. It is now a 131 versus his 132. The moment he gets close enough in order to push, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go into attack mode. I need to monitor this with a fine tooth and comb. We've got 35% tyre tread. There is a warning light saying brakes are going to be an issue. This would be... I think I'd cry on my video right now should the brakes blow up. They're at 13%. Oh my god, please do not get close enough. It's not even that we can't even push right now. 13% brakes left? That is absolutely ridiculous. That's really screwed up our session. Habsburg is actually not pushing at all. He's in conserve mode. Now he's attacking. He's attacking now. That's not good. That's not good. We're going to go back into attack mode. The rain is starting to sprinkle a little bit more. If he gets close enough, I'm absolutely going to jam him into attack mode. Do we have enough fuel to get to the end? We might run out of fuel just over the line. Let's recalibrate our fuel as we cross the line. We're under significant attack right now. That is not good. That is not good at all. He's going to try to line us up. What is he doing? He's into complete attack mode. We're going to go into complete attack mode. Schumacher blocks the inside line. He does a great job doing that. We've got 29% tyre tread left. He's now having to push away. Habsburg, go into push mode. Fastest lap by Hamilton. Where is he? He's just coming up behind us. I just don't want to get passed by a blue flag and then get absolutely screwed. We've got Habsburg. This is like that time that we raced with Schumacher, fending off Whirlwind, our tyre tread is now going to go below 25%. Let's get him to go back into conserve mode just for this part of the lap. He's been able to bridge a gap. He's closed the door, bridged a bit of a gap. It's a checkered flag for Ricciardo. Do we have enough fuel on board? We might risk it for the biscuit. We've got about 0.29 left. Go back into low mode. Sit there for a little bit. Go back into neutral mode. Get along that line. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, Schumi. Get across that line. He's going to just do it. Yes! Oh my god. That was huge. I don't know. I've probably just broken everyone's ears by screaming into the microphone. But fuck it, that was amazing. We've actually been able to hold on to 10th position against the Mercedes charging car. All because Rossi conserved that position. He held Habsburg up for so long. I can't believe it. We have lady luck on our side. That is 3 times we've come 10th. Talk about consistency. I don't think it's going to be enough to secure 6th position. Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, Williams, Ferrari, Force India will be 7th. So we're technically going to lose a little bit of chairman happiness. That's not that big of a feat. Here is the rule break. Medium risk rule break. We're using 2 illegal components in Schumi's car. Oh my god. Touch wood. Do I have like a luck charm around me? Is it every time I wear the red shirt I go faster? I feel like when I wear red, like the team colors, I actually go faster. I don't know how I do it, but it works. Wow. 2 laps down, 1 point. We got our target 10th or above. We get our bonus payment. And he's also going to get, you know, the drivers are just getting better and better with every race right now. That is... I can't believe that. That is huge. That is a huge accomplishment. Cash money in the pocket. Look at those traits. Keep going up. Keep going up. Look at that. Bang. 5 plus, 1 plus, 1 plus. Wow. Chairman happiness went down by 11%. That means technically if it goes down by 11% each race, it's going to be at 2% next time and then 0% the race after. So we really got to clean up our act. I don't know how we do it. Everyone else is not having as many reliability problems. No one technically broke down. I mean, yeah, Habsburg had to pit in extra time because of a pit stop that he had to do. So did Button. That saved our bacon a little bit. What do we do? I don't know. I don't know. We just kind of pray. We've put a target of 6. It's a little bit unrealistic. We're hitting it. We've hit it twice. We've not hit it twice. 2 for 2. 2 for 4. 50%. 3.4 mil. That's going to put us back into the green. Almost back into the green. More spending money. More part development. The problem with this championship more than anything is that you race every 10 days in the calendar. That means that you can't develop 2 to 3, 4 components like you could in GP2. GP2 you'd have like 24 days. You could do 4 front wings in that amount of time. You can't in this one. You literally go from race to race. So it's a tough schedule to kind of do. But anyway guys, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like the video. Let me know what you think. Did Rossi not do just an amazing job? Like that was... He should have got man of the race for that race. That was amazing. Thanks so much for tuning in guys. I'll check you guys out shortly.